The president said, quote, "These people do nothing but to recruit communists. You study and you like to bash the government. You are all lucky there for studying for free." Unquote. The University of the Philippines is a state-funded academic university. It is known as the top, most prestige college university in the whole Philippines. Mark said, quote, "My personal opinion, the President of the Philippines, Rodrigo Duterte, is afraid of the intellectuals of the University of the Philippines. He is insecure. The fact that the professors and students of the University of the Philippines are way smarter than him. Threatening to defund the university is an act of fascism and cowardice. In the late 60s and 70s, my parents had comrades from the University of the Philippines, who gave their lives for the democratic freedom that we enjoy today. We Filipinos should be thankful, because we have intellectuals from the University of the Philippines. We Filipinos should feel a deep remorse, for having a president like Rodrigo Duterte. We Filipinos do not deserve to have a president like him." Unquote. University of the Philippines Chancellor Fidel Nomenzo said that the premier state university is a safe haven for civilized and intelligent discourse, and has no place for intolerance, bigotry, and red tagging. Nomenzo said the threat to defund the university stemmed from a misunderstanding, that the university does nothing except to recruit communists. Those who blame the university for breeding communists forget that the university has bred more scientists, artists, doctors, lawyers, diplomats and civil servants. Nomenzo added, academic freedom is essential for the life of the mind and for the university's dual role as knowledge producer and social critic. We play the role of social critic from a position of evidence-based scholarship and moral courage. This role is a distinct service to the nation. The choice of faculty and students to express their grievances, criticize the government and call for policy changes, is their fundamental and inalienable right as Filipino citizens. Mark said, quote, "The University of the Philippines is a breeding ground for intellectuals and progressive thinkers. Believe me, no Duterte supporter would pass the entrance exam of the university. Rodrigo Duterte red tags people who are critical to his presidency, so it is no surprise that he red tagged the whole university." Unquote. About communism in the Philippines. Mark said, "In my own opinion, there are people who will join the armed communist rebel group, as long as social injustice, economic inequality, oppression, exploitation and repression would not stop. It's a psychological nature of a man to express his grievances against something that he is not in favor of. Some falls into last resort, by joining the armed communist rebel group. Suppressing and repressing the grassroots would not help at all. It just makes the matter worse. If the government is serious about ending armed communism in the Philippines, then social injustice, economic inequality, exploitation, oppression and repression must end first." Unquote. Mark said, quote, "Yes, you have grievances, you complain and you criticize the government. Now, does it mean that you are a terrorist? Of course not. Does it mean that you are a member of the armed communist rebel group? Of course not. If you know the person who red tagged you, go and sue him for libel. Do not let them red tag you. Do not let them use the mechanism of red tagging to intimidate you. Do not let them use the mechanism of red tagging to become part of our norms. Always remember that we all have the rights to express our grievances, to complain, to criticize and to express our opinions. Always remember that we are protected by the 1987 Constitution, Bill of Rights. Always exercise your rights as a citizen of the Philippines. Because if you let them intimidate you and you become tame, it will be the end of democracy and darkness will reign supreme over us." Unquote.